All right, and welcome to episode 2 of the Twisted Cast. I am your host, Vicarious Nick. Today, we are going to be going over our season 2 theories for the Twisted Metal television show. Just kind of like our thoughts and processes after watching the full first season. If you want to hear our full in-depth, spoiler-filled thoughts of season 1, definitely go check out episode 1 of the Twisted Cast. You will not be disappointed. I'm going to start it out, though, with my thoughts and theories on what could be potential in Season 2, and then we'll kind of go over those thoughts, and then we'll move on to the next person and go from there. Later in the podcast, we will then move on to our characters we would like to see return in Season 2 that haven't been shown at the end of Season 1. So, and speaking of that, as you guys may or may not know, at the end of Season 1, they did show a ton of little sneak peeks at what could be coming in Season 2, and it definitely shows that it's going to be leading to the tournament that we've all come to know and love with Twisted Metal, and it is hosted by Calypso. And in Season 1, Calypso really wasn't a character. Like, they obviously hinted at him here and there. The characters even said his name a few times, and there was even like a disembodied voice that we got to hear at one point talking to John in quiet. And it was interesting, but it still felt like, I don't know if this is actually Calypso or not. It seems off. And at this point, it's up to interpretation. We don't know. But at the very end of the season, Raven pretty much exclaims that Calypso is going to be running a contest. She wants drivers to be in it, and so does he. And they're looking for specific drivers that have certain talents, whether they're just really good drivers, or they're good with guns, or they don't mind killing people, whatever the case may be. They are being chosen to be in this contest to the death, that as a fight to the death in cars, and whoever the winner is will get their very, like, the one wish that they would want to have, whatever it be. So I'm really excited to see what they do with the tournament. I don't know if it's going to be more action-packed. I really hope it will be. I know a lot of people were kind of bummed with Season 1 not having enough car combat, so hopefully they bring a lot of that into the table. That was kind of like my main point I want to see for Season 2 is just more car combat, more action, just more craziness in vehicles. My one theory, I do think that they're going to make it where the overall plot is that the tournament is going to be televised. I don't know if it's going to be televised around the world, but at least in the US, because that's kind of what they centered towards in Season 1, was a different new parts of the US after the whole world went to shit in the apocalypse. So it'd be kind of interesting to see it as like they're hosting it as a television show, and Calypso might be like a host character where he's commentating on the contest as it's going on. I think that'd be kind of interesting. And if that were to happen, we need to have somebody who would be kind of eccentric or like be a host personality that could pull that off. So I'm really curious on who they would choose as an actor for Calypso. And who knows, they might even just go straight up like he's a mystery character. We don't even see him until the very end, until someone wins the contest and then they get their wish with him. It might be like a big reveal type thing. I don't know. But I guess I would prefer them kind of lean more towards him being more of a mainstay character, and he's a main character that's a lot of lines and dialogue and all that good stuff. So yeah, I mean, with Calypso, as whoever actor they choose, I'm pretty sure they'll have a pretty good person in mind, because they did a pretty good casting choice for the first season. But I guess one theory I saw on the internet is people want Nicolas Cage to be Calypso, or at least be a character in the Twisted Metal universe. And I think he would play a really good Calypso. I think he could do like a serious / scary character as well as just an eccentric, crazy one. I think that'd be a really interesting choice. And then also with the whole theme of it being televised, I think that might even be a way for Calypso to monetize the contest and to keep it flowing for years to come, to do multiple tournaments. But again, that's all just speculation. They didn't really, say anything about that at the end of the show. They just kind of showed a couple characters who obviously they're going to try to bring into Season 2, like Mr. Grimm and Axel, which would be really cool to see. But yeah, that's pretty much so far my main theories of what I think would and could happen in Season 2, or what I hope to see at least, is just more car combat. I want to see more of Calypso and what he can do. I also would love to see if they show any more of like supernatural elements, if he actually has powers, or maybe he's just a rich billionaire who's an asshole. I don't know, like Elon Musk in the future, who knows? But either way, I think it'd be really cool to see it from that point of view. But what do you guys think? Do you think Calypso could monetize the tournament, or do you think it's just straight up like he has mystical powers and he's an asshole?
He definitely could. I mean, like, all right. So to be realistic with it, though, like they can't have all around the world stuff, unfortunately. Like going by like their budget. Like I know the show is popular, but there's no way they'd be able to do other places in the world. I
Yeah.
doubt their budget's like that. So it's probably gonna be like Twisted Metal 1 is my
Oh.
guess. Is they're gonna have it around like LA or
Mhm.
wherever. I don't know where they're shooting the show. I'm not sure. Where are they shooting it?
I think it's in LA, I believe.
They've been shooting in in New Orleans.
Yeah, New
Oh,
Orleans.
right,
Louisiana.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm sure they could make a good set, but I think it's most likely gonna end up being like that. Probably it's like samey stuff. You know, you're gonna be a lot of cities,
Yeah.
stuff like that. I'm assuming at least, but also Calypso will probably be like the make or break for it. I think because I doubt they're gonna do a lot of car combat either, which I'd like to see more of.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, granted, we only got one episode of like full car combat going on, so it's most likely gonna be more character centric, and Calypso will be the centerpiece. I think he has to be the centerpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that they will lean into the magic aspect of Calypso. They won't be flashy about it, yeah, because as Kong's pointing out, like there are budget considerations in there. But I think they'll do kind of like a hand wavy, oh, here's this thing that has appeared off screen that you want, and we'll cut over to it. But if he can grant anything you want, it would have to be magic based.
Right.
He couldn't just be a guy who just has tons of money. It's just like, I want my dead kid to come back to life. Sorry, money won't do that. It's gonna have to be some low budget magic in this particular
Unless it was a
scene.
realistic wish.
Right.
A
Yeah.
realistic wish. They would like unless they were just like behind the scenes, or like you guys need to make sure the wish is realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like it can't be something nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they could enforce that rule with the writing for sure, but like, if you were given a wish in real life, it's not going to be realistic. Like,
Yeah,
there's no way I'm going to
absolutely.
wish for like, I want to be the king of the world, or I want,
Mhm.
all the gold on the planet, or something like that. That's
I mean,
impossible.
Thumper did that in Twisted Metal too. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure he wished to be the king of the world.
But
Or
the
it
world
wasn't.
already ended.
Yeah, he was like the leader of the world or something like that. So I mean, I guess, and even in the games, they're doing stuff like that. So it's possible for the show as well.
Right. And it's interesting, Con, that you brought up like the TM1 aspect of it would only take place in one centralized area. And that I think that would make a lot of sense, like both for budget, for the show itself, but also in the world of this television show, there would be a budget. At least I would assume, unless they completely go over the rails with the supernatural and like he can just snap his fingers and make, cars come out of the sky for people. But I feel like they might try to start it out with more of an underground tournament, more than just like a whole world tour and everybody needs to know about it sort of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I wonder if the tournament in the show, if it's going to act like one of the games where everyone is in the same arena battling it out,
Yeah.
or if it's going to be more like an actual tournament bracket where it's sort of 1v1, and once you clear your stage, you go to the next and so on. Because if that's the case, save on budget, first of all, not having like this large scale battle
Yeah.
taking place. But if you remember from Twisted Metal 1, that very first level, Arena Duel,
Mhm.
Where you have this Calypso fella with all his shirtless men and women watching this warehouse battle taking place in front of them. Yeah, it was a 1v1. So I wonder if maybe it would be handled in sort of that way.
I could see that.
Where-
Yeah.
Yeah, I could
Honestly,
definitely see that because in that one scene where Roadkill was talking to Raven, you can see when you see like the pictures being placed of like the different contestants for that is being hinted at for season 2. I think you can see that there's the brackets, so it's like almost like 1v1s until you get to the final battle, and I think that makes sense because it makes if they're going to do car combat and try to make a story out of it, I think they can really make those battles personal, and do some really cool stuff with it in terms of story. So
Yeah.
I think you're pretty you're pretty good on coming up with that point, Drew.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Because it would be episodic. It would be perfect for it. Like you could name each episode after a character. Like
Right,
you
it
could
could be
Axel
John Doe
and
versus
Spectre
Bloody
and
Mary, yeah.
Instagram, and they could just go up the list until whoever they decide to be like the boss as like the final episode of like the grand finale, similar to
Yeah.
what they did with the first season, like
Mhm.
a grandiose car combat. Because they'd have time in that episode to build the character, build some sort of conflict in there,
Mhm.
and then the person maybe dies or doesn't die. Depends on how they want
Yeah.
to write it.
The only issue I'd have with that, though, as a viewer, I feel like that concept would get old really fast. Like if it's just 1v1s kind of thing. Like I definitely think it could start out with 1v1 and then maybe halfway through the season it could turn into a 2v2 like team based, or it could just straight up be like here's 4 people versus each other in one arena, and then the very end is like the major battle of like 10 people going against each other at one time kind of thing.
Yeah, they're definitely setting
side characters.
Yeah.
I think you could have Pizza Boy come in, shoot his pizza blades out, and even if he dies, like he could just be fodder. You know, I mean, it just adds more diversity of just having cameos and other characters,
right,
just coming in, and it makes it a little more interesting. But the main focus of the episode is the character, like the character it's named after.
And what were you gonna say, Dave?
Oh, it seems like they are trying to set up some of the team stuff already. I mean, we have a little bit of the gang aspect going on from, what was it, 2012?
Yep.
But, you know, Quiet and John together, Sweet Tooth and the Hammerhead boys together.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had like the Juggernaut with Flower Power and then potentially Twister. I don't see Flower Power and Twister fighting each other in the tournament. I see them.
No, they would definitely be on each other's side.
As a unit that are fighting together.
Right.
Yeah, unless they're forced.
I wonder with the faction stuff that they're kind of setting up, like the Holy Men, you know, the Preacher has the Holy Men.
Mm-hmm.
We saw John Doe's sister, Dollface.
Yep.
She has the whole Legion of Dolls. I wonder if maybe the tournament wouldn't play out where it is 1v1, like the leader of the faction, the main person fights themselves. They more have like a group of people that fights for them.
Oh.
And so that way you can have your fodder, your nameless, faceless people fighting, a lot of destruction, a lot of stuff. You know, because if you have a big free-for-all with all, you know, Bloody Mary and John Doe, Quiet, all fighting each other, like after one battle, everyone's already dead. You get one battle, you know, you get one money shot there. But if you have a big group of people that are just, you know, the Holy Men, just this vague group of folks, I think you could have a lot of opportunity for car combat without sacrificing, you know, important characters.
Yeah, definitely agree.
It's only, I mean, because I don't really know what to say, like, when it comes to a theory wise, like, I mean, because I guess me hoping that Calypso would be the central character is like, that's the only theory I really have is that, or what I said of how they'd have the characters, like each episodic, named after a character. That's,
I do have one that I want to bring up.
Yeah.
Right. Like with John Doe's sister, who is revealed to be Dollface with her dolls.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when she approached Quiet about it, she seemed like she had a bone to pick with John Doe. Like there's something that she wanted to, you know, dispense to Quiet to make her maybe not think of John the same way. And maybe there's a past to John that is darker than he lets on. You know, like his amnesia that he has. You know, we're told a lot of things about it, but I don't think we actually know the full story.
Sure.
So I think maybe his sister Dollface, that maybe she has answers, and it might make us question if John is really the person he says he is, or if he's a good person at all. So I want to kind of explore maybe what the potential there is.
Yeah, I think that'd be really interesting. And kind of like you said, we don't know what happened in between, because we saw flashbacks of him as a kid getting Evelyn, you know, and he got beat in the head, and that, you know, that's an assumption that that's where he got the trauma or the amnesia from. But we never saw like the years between him getting 11 and where he is now. I mean, obviously, it's been like, what, 20 years since then or something like that?
It'd have to be. He's definitely in his late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of potential there for them to kind of do small flashbacks to 5 years ago, 10 years ago, to see, you know, if his sister was with him at some point and like what happened there.
And then we've already seen Raven, right? And we've seen Raven manipulate John Doe, giving him, you know, information about his past. Hey, this is your childhood home. This is where you grew up. Here's a picture of your family.
Yeah. You
know, we don't know if that's true. Yeah, like at the very beginning, the first time we see Raven, she's lying to John about who she is and like the life he could have and all that. So I don't know if I trust all the story that we've gotten about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could be anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, we've seen also like characters kind of cross into other characters with Agent Stone and Outlaw kind of being the same character with the main character. Who knows? Maybe John Doe is actually Mr. Ash, who was a previous dark side driver like Dollface. And he's forgotten this. Like somehow he got hit in the head, but he's this major baddie or was at one point. That's probably why Raven wants him to drive, because she knows what a badass he is.
Yeah.
Right.
Possibly. I mean, he did show it though. Like they're like going to get that's the like when he went to go get the ice cream, I guess, or the package, if you want to call it that. But I was gonna say I think Quiet would probably become one of the Dollface. Probably join that gang.
I don't see her joining like a clan.
I mean, I see it getting forced on her.
Oh, maybe.
Is what I see it. Like, because I mean, there was like what, like 30 people there. Like, I don't know, and they slashed her tires too. It's like I don't think she's gonna get away.
Yeah.
And then they would be like, "Where's Quiet?" all throughout the season. Like they'd have you asking that to yourself, and then you find out later she's a Dollface.
Could be.
Maybe driving Darkseid.
That would be cool. She becomes the actual Darkseid driver. Yeah.
They're definitely setting up for Dollface to like want to get to John Doe. Like they knew who Quiet was somehow, and then they made an effort to stop her just to get to John Doe. And it doesn't seem like it's for a good reason.
Right.
I mean, also kind of like one of the cliffhangers there too is what happened to Stu? Does he become a minion of Sweet Tooth again? Does he become Melvin? That's what I was about to say.
He could become Melvin. He really could.
Yeah, paint him up, man.
Yeah, give him glasses.
Yep. And then Mike becomes Axel.
Cut his legs off.
And then Sweet Tooth, every time you see him, he's just juggling in the background.
He's
sliced up.
juggling.
Gets angry, and then Mike goes into Axel, and then there you
go. Yeah, I mean, we did see a picture of Axel at the end, or what we assumed was. But, I mean, they have multiples of the same character, so they just kill off one, and then another character becomes them.
Right. I mean, like,
imagine the Axel clan.
Oh my god.
The Axel clan is just a bunch of guys between wheels.
Axel, power. Just like
imagine a bunch of guys that are just armless, like just no arms.
Oh my god.
A bunch of guys just running around.
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
What if there's one that's just a wheel with two guys on either side?
Yeah.
The wheel in the middle.
And they have Small Brawl Axel in there.
There you go. The only thing I hope they don't do, and I know some people kind of, and I did as well. I complained about this a little bit from season 1. I hope they don't bring the same vehicle back after it's already been like blown up. Like if they have a car that looks like Thumper or a car that looks like Spectre, right, or something like that in a tournament in season 2, if it gets obliterated and that person clearly dies, whether it's Drew's theory of like a minion in that car driving it, not necessarily the actual leader of the clan, or if it actually is an important character that's driving the car. If they explode and the car just get obliterated, I hope we don't see that same car come back. You know what I mean? Like I just feel
we've already seen that too. Yeah, with Shadow.
Right. That's what. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I feel it'd be really weird if they brought Shadow back again, like the hearse. But
I think they will. I think Raven will come back, or possibly Mortimer will come back in a black hearse at some point. Maybe John Doe crosses her and doesn't want to grant the wish that she wants, and she's like, "Screw it! I'm going to enter the tournament and get this wish myself."
Yeah, if they bring Shadow back, or I guess the vehicle Shadow back, I would hope that it is Mortimer driving it. I would love to see him.
Yeah, me too. I'd want to see Mortimer.
Mm-hmm. And then winners, what was your thoughts, I guess, on season 2 or your theories for it?
I mean, kind of what we already touched on, like with Calypso being the central guy who's just watching and laughing maniacally as almost kind of like in Saw, like what's his name, Jigsaw? Jigsaw, like just watching everything through the TVs and just laughing and seeing all the explosions and the chaos and all that. I think I think that'd be a good way to kind of go about season 2. And I think I wonder if we would ever see Calypso or if he would just kind of be the guy behind the cameras, like in Saw, where you don't know who this person is that is running these games,
right?
Yeah, and that's kind of what my take is, that since it's the Twisted Metal competition, Calypso's gonna do his thing behind the scenes, and you'll see snippets of him here and there just kind of commenting on what's going on, maybe throwing in quips here and there. As for who would play Calypso, I haven't a clue, but I really hope that that, and I think they already are, where it's Calypso kind of retains some of his traits, where if somebody wins and they make a wish, he just takes it to the next level, where he kind of gives them what what they didn't expect. Like he takes it like even more literally. So that's why I'm like, if somebody makes a wish, even if it's crazy or whatever, I feel like there might be a twist where like the ice cream, for example, like in season 1, what Raven wanted ice cream and it was the wrong one. That's already a hint that Calypso is like, oh, you want ice cream, and it's like, F you, I know what you want, but let me just give you something else entirely just to fuck with you, because he's a character. He fucks around a lot.
Yeah.
And he gets a joy out of it. He doesn't care.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, and to your point, no one would wish for Rocky Road ice cream.
Says you.
Jeez, dude.
Rocky Road's not too bad. It's okay.
It's pretty bad, actually.
Pistachio.
I fucking hate Rocky Road.
If that was her wish, though, that would imply that she won in the past, though. If he was going to grant a wish,
yeah,
then they're connected in some way.
That's interesting. Yeah, I never thought of that.
True.
She already has some supernatural things going on. She has the command of an entire city, it seems like.
I don't know if that's supernatural, though. I mean, that could just be straight up like leadership, or like she was the right place at the right time, or maybe she had money before the apocalypse went down.
Yeah, I mean, it's not specifically like only magic could lead to that, but it does seem a little unnatural that she has that sort of power over those people. We saw her sewing a voodoo doll. She made hints that she can make any of his dreams come true. Like there's something about her that seems more than what Earth could provide.
Maybe she's gonna end up being Calypso's wife or something.
It could be just like that. Their ex. It's like he knows what her favorite ice cream flavor is, but he fuck with her just to get one last piece of spite in.
Oh, that could be
his child.
That's his child. She's actually Krista Sparks.
I mean, wow.
What if they were together and they had a girl named Krista?
Ooh,
that would be interesting.
That's a way to go. Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna tie that into kind of characters I would hope to see in season 2, and I think it'd be a really cool twist if somehow the producers or the writers are able to throw in Krista, and you don't really know that it's Calypso's daughter, but there's like a twist at some point where it kind of reveals that I'm Krista, she's my mom, Calypso's my dad. Yeah. And I'm in the competition for X whatever reasons. I think the writers can really do something cool with that to kind of I expand on Calypso's story, because as much as I like Calypso in the games, I don't want him to be just a complete one-dimensional character. Same with like Sweet Tooth, where I felt like in the show they did a good job with Calypso Sweet Tooth has his own backstory with his parents and his stepdad who put him to do plays and shows as a child, so that way he can buy that Lexus. And God damn it! And I know I say that right. And we kind of see like why Sweet Tooth kind of became the character that he is in the show. So I'm really hoping that Calypso can kind of receive that same treatment, which another character, which would be his daughter Krista, can kind of add to that.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Interesting. I mean, kind of riffing off what you guys are talking about. This is just crazy theory stuff. She has so much power. She apparently like over the town. What if she is Calypso? She sends John Doe on a run across country as a test. We never see him. It could be like a pre-recorded voice and an ice cream dispenser, and the ice cream is going to melt if he doesn't get back in time. It's basically a test of, is this a good driver and can they complete this task?
Right.
And she's secretly Calypso in the end is like some big reveal. And the Calypso we know or basically got a taste of in the series is really just her controlling everything remotely.
It definitely could be, especially, like the only shot we saw of a live action Calypso in the show was for that split second where we saw the back of his head and he was putting, the pieces of paper or the photos on the wall with the bracket system. Mm-hmm. And in reality, the first thought that comes to all of our heads is, oh, it's Calypso from 2012. Like, it looks just like him. Or I guess it could be also Calypso from TM2 because he had long hair then as well. But I don't know. It could be her as well with her hair down, because I don't really know in the show. Did she have her hair down? I can't really remember. But
Yeah, because initially we all
So-
thought that she might be Calypso because she's saying, "I can grant you any wish." She's saying she can do that.
yes, yeah,
It's definitely
exactly.
heavily hinted at for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with all the graffiti that we see all around the show, whether it's on near Chicago or near San Francisco, there's the graffiti on road signs that says Calypso is real.
Yeah.
So I wonder if maybe that is her, trying to throw people off and trying to promote this conspiracy that there is some, otherworldly Calypso fella who's pulling all these strings when really it's her.
It could be. My only
Yeah.
thought is like, why would she cover that up? Because like at the end, she tells him when she's outside of apparently his childhood home, she's saying there is a person named Calypso who wants to run a contest. Like, why would she say that and not just say, I want to run a contest and I want drivers? Like, what would be her benefit of lying about that?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. I mean, because all her entire intention, like her whole personality, is just being enigmatic and mysterious.
Yeah.
We don't know anything about what she wants. Even like something as simple as what this package is. They hype it up like it's going to be some earth shattering thing, when really it's just a carton of ice cream.
Right.
That just happened to be. So she's very. I think her whole deal, like Calypso, is to give you an expectation and then to completely subvert that expectation with something you didn't expect.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's very Calypso-like.
Also, can we take a second to just say, like, what the fuck was that thing made out of that they were carrying the ice cream in? Because that kept it cold
No
for
idea.
like 10 days without any type of like electricity going to it.
Yeah, there's
They
your
really need
magic
to
right
protect
there.
that thing. It could be magic. It definitely could. They needed to protect the small brawl reference.
That's
They
right.
needed to protect it.
The most protected joke in the series. I mean, it was a metal box inside. It could have had a small battery pack that was keeping it cold the whole time.
Maybe.
I
But
mean,
for 10
there was
days?
a countdown. There was the 10 days. So maybe the battery was supposed to last just 10 days.
Possibly, yeah.
Possibly.
Where the ice cream explodes.
Oh, no.
Oh no! I gotta clean this rocky road off all my leather seats.
Yeah, it doesn't explode in a way that could kill you. It just mildly inconvenience you.
Look at like a die pack in the bank. Whenever someone steals money from the bank, they throw a die pack in there and it explodes.
My God!
Son of a bitch.
If Raven is Calypso, why would she give herself the wrong flavor of ice cream?
That's true. Yeah, she made a comment
Yeah.
like, "Oh, he got my order wrong or whatever," like a DoorDash driver.
Yeah. What if he's just like a glorified Uber driver? Just Uber Eats.
I mean, that's what milkmen are.
Basically.
Yeah.
They're a
good point.
very like badass version of Uber drivers, but still, or Uber Eats, I
So,
should say.
I think
Uber
there's
drivers
definitely
with
some
guns.
connection of Raven to Calypso. I don't know if they're necessarily the same person.
Yeah,
But also, why, if she was as powerful as Calypso, she wouldn't need to, join his tournament. I think she'd have some ability to, circumvent that.
yeah.
Mhm.
For
So
sure.
it's hard to say. I mean, we don't know anything, I guess.
Right. It kind of throws us when she says, "I can grant." He's talking to John Doe, and I can grant any wish you want.
hmm
And she's probably referring to the fact that if he wins the tournament, that's the wish he gets from Calypso. But obviously, she's not going to let him have it.
Yeah, she wants to steal it from him. Which again, if that could be a good plot outline, I think that's what they're going to go for. But that wouldn't make any sense if she's Calypso herself, because she could just make it happen.
Right.
So I don't know.
Right.
Either way,
Debunked.
you debunked.
Debunked. We debunked the Raven theory being Calypso.
Yeah. But I don't know. We don't know. It could happen. But I think there's a lot of ways they can go about it, which I think is great. And I think that kind of comes back to, again, in like my overall thoughts of season 1, and that I think they did it the right way in creating this character development to make us care about these certain characters, to create the world around the tournament going into season 2, instead of just, hey, here's a post-apocalyptic world, here's a contest already going on, Calypso's this big baddie who's running it, and these people are gonna die and some are gonna live, and one's gonna be last alive to get a wish, and that's your whole show. I just, I don't think it would have, unless it was a very long season, like 25 episodes or something for season 1, I don't think they would have been able to cram enough in his 10 episodes to make us care about who wins and who loses, kind of thing.
for sure. So I mean, you tell me you don't care about Twisted Metal 2 Roadkill?
I mean, it's an interesting concept. There's a lot of like unanswered questions from the whole Roadkill and Marcus Kane and all that stuff. But again, it's just like I think it's just meant to be a mindfuck and nothing more.
It has the implication of a larger story, but never actually pays any of it off, which I think the show is the opposite, where it has a larger story.
Yeah.
And we're waiting for it to pay off.
Right.
Yeah,
Just got to be
finally.
patient.
Which, I mean, has there been any narratives in the show that we've seen that were directly in like another Twisted Metal game? Because I feel like the show has its own story, and all the references to Twisted Metal are more just like Easter eggs that, if they were there or not, it wouldn't change the overall narrative of the show.
Right.
Yeah, no. You could change a lot of those characters out. Like you could change out like you could give Twister a different name, you could give Flower Power a different name. Like you give some of them different, or actually no, maybe not Twister, she's more important, but like you could definitely give like Flower Power a different name or something.
Yeah.
You change anything. Like it would still be the same show. It's more
And
just
not
like
that that's a
fan
bad
service
thing.
stuff.
No.
Yeah, it
No,
doesn't
it's not
need
a
to
bad
follow
thing.
anything from the games, because there's not much to pull on besides little references. Like that's as deep as they should go.
Yeah, exactly.
But I bring that up because with Calypso, the official TM2 canon, as important as that is, the all powerful TM2 canon, is that Calypso was contracted by the literal devil after he went to hell to go back to Earth and run this contest in order to get all the most talented drivers and have them compete, and the losers go to hell to drive for the devil, and then the winner I guess also gets killed and gets sent to hell because their wishes get twisted up.
Yeah.
So I wonder if the show will go that route, or if it is going to go more of a Twisted Metal Black route, where a lot of the wishes are earthly, as long as they're evil in some way.
Man, if it turns out to like everything is just inside someone's head, I'm gonna be kind of pissed off.
Yeah, it's become a meme within itself at this point.
It's just a fever dream of Sweet Tooth and Blackfield
I
Asylum.
I swear
Lazy
to God,
writing.
if I hear anything about being inside someone's head, I swear to God.
What if the opening shot of the second season is like someone sleeping and it just like slowly pans away from their face? It's like, oh man, that was a crazy
That
dream
first
season one, and
season
it's just
never
like,
happened.
and then it's just small brawl the rest of the time. It's just kids playing with RC cars.
Okay, I'd be fine with that.
I would be fine with that too.
Oh,
I do
man.
think like I will put money down, like if season 2 rolls around, that there Piecemeal will be in it. That's going to be one of my theories going
Piecemeal?
into it. Yeah, because he would be so easy a character for them to make.
It's a great concept for an enemy.
Actually,
for sure.
yeah, like a real piecemeal.
Yeah, like we
As
we
the
never
final
showed the
boss.
character art. They can make them whatever they want, even a contestant, and
Yeah.
they could easily, well, I mean, no pun intended, go to a junkyard and piece his car together pretty cheaply for the series if they run on a budget.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be
they could
cool.
use pieces of other cars like Shadow and everyone else that was destroyed throughout the tournament. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
like if you're on the losing end of the bracket, you get thrown into a big pile, and then you get pieced together to some monstrosity. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And then when you start the battle, he asks, "Do you want a piece of me?" And then he just goes down.
What a piece of me.
Like, what if that is the minion? Like the final boss is just that, like all the things you've destroyed over the course of the tournament come back
That'd be
to
dope.
like literally haunt you.
Yeah.
That would give them more fodder because I mean, obviously, and I think we're all agreed or that a minion's probably going to appear in the series at some
yeah,
point.
I think so.
Has
Most
to.
likely.
And he's probably going to be destroyed in order to get your wish, so they would need a next big baddie to come up, and Piecemeal would probably be a good one for that.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
a
I
tank
could
would be
definitely
kind of boring. Like if you bring up Piecemeal, now I want that. Like you tell me, oh, some weird tank's going to come in. I'm like, of course there's a tank, but now give me a fucking zombie car.
And it literally has the dead driver's pin to it that he's killed. I mean, we did get pretty dark during the series. Like, why not? Like, just have a
Right.
bunch of bodies stuck to it.
Right.
Yeah, why not?
And I
I
guess
want to
since we're-
see if.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. I want to see if Preacher, speaking of bodies, if he's going to like impale someone on his hood and launch them with
Yes,
dynamite.
that'd be
Yeah.
so
Human.
cool. If they could do that in a way where it wouldn't like be too over the top gross, like if they could do it and it's kind of like just crazy and it's just obviously a homage to Brimstone, I feel like that'd be super cool.
Oh, 100%.
Maybe
Because
I think
Minions-
shy away. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say
Really
maybe
gonna
have
shy
like
away
his
from-
windows be like the stained glass from the Brimstone and
Yes.
Black.
Yeah.
Literally, his entire gang is there just to be ammo for him. Like they just dive in front of the car to get spiked and then shot off.
Yeah.
I mean, they
It's
are
like the fighting
masochists,
guys.
right?
Yeah.
They like pain, so
Yeah. Pain, drugs, and sex.
yeah,
Yeah.
I could see it. And I guess
Has
since we
anybody-
kind of talked about Minion already, like I guess we kind of transitioned a little bit into like the vehicles we'd like to see and characters we'd like to see. So I guess kind of going off of that, we could kind of transition to like what's the top 5, I guess, from each of us, what we would like to see in the show. And
I can't think of 5.
Oh, really?
I can think of one. No, I mentioned it last time. Would be Minion, the Apocalypse 9 version.
Okay. So a
'Cause it would play
Minion
into the
Apocalypse
gangs.
9.
Like it would play into the gang thing because that's what Apocalypse 9 is.
Yeah.
Like they were a gang. I mean, they're a questionable gang in say in modern times, but they were a gang, and I think it would be interesting to see them, to be
Yeah.
honest,
Mhm.
because it's more realistic than having the devil, or a demon.
Right.
Probably
yeah.
not going to be a demon. So
Just Darth
And it would
Maul.
play into the gang stuff that we are talking about earlier, like being able to have that fodder, because there's no leader of Apocalypse 9.
Right.
So you can go a lot
Yeah.
of directions with that.
I mean,
Yeah.
they could. I hope they quote some of those little videos that they had as well. The lost cutscenes, the midpoint ones.
Hmm.
That would be really nice to see.
That would be a really deep cut.
That would
I'd be
be.
surprised if any of the writers actually are aware of that.
I mean, Harold was there.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
they've
true.
had some
Well,
deep-
Harold
deep
was in
cut
the original ending too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a real version of Mr. Slam come into the next season. I think that'd be great with the full on construction equipment slamming cars and just driving through them, causing like extra chaos. You know, and
That'd
if they're doing special effects cars, they can do some really good, like pick them up, tear them apart, throw them across the environment at other cars, kind of things that would look very, very menacing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But how could he mix a dick joke into that?
I'm hoping they
room
just
for a dick
they
joke.
kill that guy and they just bring another Mr. Slam.
They bring back
Unless
Augur.
they had Augur. Yeah, unless they had Augur. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They could use Augur. But I also hope they do put new characters in as well, and not just like all returning
Yeah.
characters. I would like to see actual new characters too.
Right.
Were there any new characters that we know of besides Quiet?
No.
Everyone else is pretty much from the other games.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. In the scene where they're at the pit with Bloody Mary and Pizza Boy and all them,
Yeah.
there was a character that was walking out of the restroom who I think got a nickname, and we didn't hear what. I don't remember if it was like Bruce or something. Was that just Bruce, the driver of Thumper? I could be wrong. I could be just imagining all this, but I feel like there was one character whose name got said.
I don't remember.
And I
that.
didn't
I have to
recognize who it
rewatch that
was.
episode.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Because there was
Yeah.
Pit Viper, Drag Queen,
Yep.
Mr. Slam. We had all those, but there was one that I remember hearing that I didn't recognize.
I don't
I
know.
want to say it was
Sick.
Bruce.
I
Are
think
you
you're
supposed to
thinking
remember
of
when it's
you're thinking of Drag Queen. I think they called them Patricia or something.
Did they? Petunia
Petunia.
is their name.
Petunia.
Her name's
Yeah,
Petunia,
it was a
that's her
different
name.
name
And
that
then-
I've never heard
Hmm.
before.
Yeah. No, Petunia's her name
Yeah.
in the manual.
Oh, it is. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say with Mr. Slam, if they did bring him back, I think what they could do is, like you were saying, Dave, bring back Mr. Slam, or sorry, make a new Mr. Slam, like brand new character, with the construction vehicle, and it has like the teeth and everything from like TM2, and it's menacing, and then all of a sudden, like for like one just small one-off joke, have the other Mr. Slam from season 1 come into frame or like show up in the audience of the tournament or something. And he's like, "Hey, I'm Mr. Slam too." And he's like, "Wait, why is that?" And then he has like the dick joke or something.
He brings out a watermelon.
Yeah. I think they could do that. I think they could get away with that.
Or they have the Mr. Slam we saw on the TV show, and he's like, "Go get him, son!" And it's like, "Son of Mr.
Oh
Slam."
my god! Yeah.
Yeah. Mr.
Hell
Slam
yeah.
Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to your point of like not bringing back all the old characters from the first season, I wouldn't mind if some of them morphed into new characters, like Bloody Mary comes back but as Spectre.
Yeah.
And she's a little jacked up, or something maybe as radical as like Agent Stone comes back as Minion. Now that he's all jacked up, maybe he killed himself and he's gone to hell, and he's now come back as the demon, And that would be a pretty cool reveal at the end of like John Doe's winning the tournament, and all of a sudden, Agent Stone comes back, but looking demonic, and is like, "I remember you, kid."
Kid, yeah.
I mean, I would hope so, because Thomas Hayden Church was so great. Like, I would love to see him come back.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he's dead. I definitely think he's coming back. Same with I would love to see some type of rendition of Yellow Jacket make an appearance.
Mm-hmm.
And they did reference him.
Yeah, because they hinted, all we saw was Sweet Tooth's mom and his stepdad. We never saw his real father, so we don't know if he's alive or not.
Right. They didn't say he died. They just say that, he could be sleeping in a cab or something. So
Yep.
it's definitely potential there. Although that was when Sweet Tooth was a child, which would be like 30, 40 years in the past.
Yeah.
So we'd have to assume that he is a ancient old man.
Well, not
Possibly.
really.
I would
He could be
assume
like in
that.
his 70s, 60s.
He's an old man in Twisted Metal 1, so.
Yeah.
Just wants to drive one last time, gets inside Darktooth, flies the
Yeah.
head around a while. It'd be fun.
I hope to God they don't do that
What
shit.
if he does come back as Darktooth instead of as a Yellow Jacket? Like because
I would hate
I
that,
always,
but it would make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know, because like it was always a toss up in my mind. Like if they don't bring Minion back, then maybe they would do Darktooth or vice versa.
Right.
It's hard to
I think
say.
it'd be too hard.
I don't know,
If they wanted to do
because
something like the TM2 version, it would be too hard, I think.
Yeah.
Hard one.
Especially with the big
Just
head. Like that would. I don't know if they'd be able to do that or make it look good.
It didn't look good in the game. I know that.
I mean, I doubt they would follow it literally. They would just do their own spin on it and just
Right.
use the name of the character and then some kind of reference to Sweet Tooth.
Yeah. Dark Tooth. Yeah. Bring Gold
Yeah.
Tooth from Lost.
Yeah, or Tower Tooth.
Tower Tooth. Yeah. I don't think they'd have the
Alright,
budget for
that's
that.
They get a Pizza Hut reference in there. Make that his little building.
Hey,
like a whole bunch of PVC pipe, right? You just put it all together.
I mean, they could do that. They could just put Tower Tooth. They could put a guy in the top of a tower with a gun, and then they could just refer to him as Tower Tooth or something.
Yeah.
And it's
I
not
mean,
actually a
Pizza
car.
Boy. If it is a Pizza Hut, put Pizza Boy in the top of it, big tower. I like that.
It's
Yeah.
Pizza Hut. No one out pizzas the hut.
Like, yeah, get the Pizza Hut sponsorship. They'll pay for the whole season, man.
Right.
Have all the car combat you want.
And I would love to see Pizza Boy make a return. It's kind of like, I guess I kind of gave a theory during our review of season 1 where if they bring back, or they bring the supernatural elements to Calypso, he could bring people back to life to be in the contest. And I feel like, because even though obviously, Pizza Boy should have died, like he got his face is obliterated. Like there's no way he'd live. But we never saw a body. So it's one of those things like he could have survived, I guess, and gotten, I don't know, facial reconstruction surgery or something. And he could show up. And if he does, I mean, if they do bring Pizza Boy back, which already I'd be super happy. But I would also love to see like Club Kid make an appearance. And then like him and Club Kid could join together if they're doing the clan stuff or whatever.
Pizza Boy comes back as No Face because he's just all
He's
jacked
just
up
so
now.
fucked up looking.
That was one of my characters I wanted to return, was No Face. So maybe that does, because like you said, transitioning
Yeah.
one character to another, that could be one, definitely.
Good. You never know. It's just No Face, but he's wearing the big puffer jacket. That would look so stupid.
And he wants to
Complete
fight. He
mashup.
wants to box so he can win his next fist fight.
There you go. Yeah. He's got to learn. Oh my god. He's like getting surgery. And it like shows a flashback of like how he got to No Face, and he's getting surgery, and the guy's like, last time I got a pizza from you guys, you forgot the pepperoni. This is what you deserve. He's so
That could
fucked
work.
up.
That would fit their humor style. So
Yeah, they
it shows
could.
humor style. So
Right. They could also bring like since they had all the outlaw references, they could bring Meter Maid in this one.
oh yeah, they can. They could get their hands on one of those cards pretty easily.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Like,
And then
that-
just
that
get some
wouldn't be
random
hard.
like model to play her for like a 1-second scene.
Yeah.
I wonder how they're going to handle Mr. Grimm and Axel in a car combat setting.
I'm
Yeah,
excited for Axel.
I am too. I'm excited to see how terrible the CGI will be for him, or it could be amazing. I don't know. They could
They
pull it
could
off.
use practical effects, I think, right?
Yeah, I
So-
mean,
What?
who's to say that he's going to be between two wheels? All we saw was a guy standing with big wheels, like in the foreground or the background.
Yeah.
It could be I mean, honestly, it could be a wheelchair with giant
Oh
wheels
my
on
god.
That would be funny.
It could be a riding
Small bro
lawnmower.
reference to the axle and small bro.
It could also be like a riding lawnmower with giant truck wheels attached to the side of it.
That'd be cool, actually. But I don't know.
Like the model they used for Twisted Metal 2012 looks like it could be replicated with practical effects, because it's sort of like just a cage
yeah.
with two wheels on either side, where their arms aren't inside of the wheels, like their limbs are not the axle of this vehicle.
Right.
It's more just like their arms are just, you know, near the wheels and they're controlling.
They're
what's
holding on, like,
going on.
joysticks or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
I could. Yeah.
Still a
I
dumb
mean,
concept.
the actor shows up on set and they're like, "Okay, so we hope you sign this NDA or this waiver. So, here's your car. You're gonna have to go and drive and run over some cars with it, and it's just this giant fucking like actually axle vehicle."
Everyone's gonna assign their cars. Okay, you get Roadkill. Okay, you get Shadow. You get Outlaw, and you got this fucking thing. Just two monster truck wheels.
How does it
Pretty
stop?
good. He gives him one of those hoverboards where he just stands on the one wheel and then drives around using his phone.
That'd be awesome.
Oh man, but like once I know it's like a stormtrooper, physics or whatever. Like no one's gonna actually get hit straight with a bullet, but it'd be kind of hard to suspend your disbelief with Grimm and Axel because their bodies are completely exposed.
Right.
Like I don't know, like one piece of shrapnel from a missile, like you're out, you're done.
Grimm,
just
I
wonder how
think
they're
they
gonna
could get
make that
away
not
with
look
it
stupid.
easily because all they have to do is like just like what's their bubbling right now. All they have to do is show that he's a skeleton, like he's not a real person, or like he's a mythical being, like the actual Grim Reaper. I think if they went that route, like it'd be really out there, obviously, but I think it would make more sense as to like how is this dude surviving this contest on a fucking motorcycle?
Yeah.
Do you want him to be a Grim Reaper?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool if they could do. They
I think
pull
it's
that
more
off.
realistic I think it would be the 2012 route would be more realistic though.
It's more
Maybe
boring, I think.
of him being a stuntman. Unfortunately, it's like
Yeah,
how would they really make it work?
I don't know. Maybe just have him a
He's
silent
supposed to be
protagonist.
deaf.
Like, why would he
maybe.
compete at a tournament if he's like the literal Grim Reaper? Do you think he would be above it all?
winner, and you are my prize.
I mean, that could be the thing though. He needs to get to Calypso, and he can't unless he wins the contest because he needs his soul.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess that will give him a motive.
Yeah,
It's kind of outlandish.
it is.
Yeah, if they wanted to go the stuntman route, though, they could put him in body armor, like give him a bulletproof vest. Say that his helmet is bulletproof, and
Yeah.
he could get smacked around a bit, but it would make some sense as to why he's taking bullets.
Just
And
give him
then
one of
gets
those
up and
fucking
keeps going.
give him one of those jackets from John Wick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Those things are bulletproof.
Oh, yeah, I mean, the helmet's the same exact color, is just inverted.
Yeah.
Like it looks exactly the same as a 2012 helmet. It's just inverted.
Had the same paint. Yeah.
Yep. It looks cool.
Although in Twist Metal 1, he was the Grim Reaper, but I think his helmet looked the same, didn't it? Didn't have like red paint
He
on
looked
it.
like a human. I mean, his
Except his like bony arm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bone arm. They need to reference that, please. Like if they have Mr.
Oh
Grimm,
man.
they need to reference that. And the only way they'd be able to reference it though is if he's actually a skeleton, like if he's the Grim Reaper. But I think
Or they could pull that gag that Sweet Tooth did, which is like, hey, you need a hand? And he's just holding someone's arm.
and it's a skeleton,
Oh, yeah.
like it fully just, but no meat on it at all.
watch him turn out to be the baked potato skeleton from the restaurant scene.
Oh, yeah.
The Watkins lightning struck him and brought him back to life. His skeleton.
That'd be amazing, actually. That'd be a cool. I'd be okay with that. We also need to see Spectre. I would love to see Spectre make a because obviously Bloody Mary is going to be in it. So I wonder if they're gonna make her actually have a ghost missile for her special.
Oh yeah. Like it just
That's
drills through
possible.
walls or something.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely possible.
Did we see her car? I don't think we did, right?
Nope.
Like no one in that bar. We saw their cars.
Nope.
All we know is that she does know how to drive well, at least, because since she was a milkman,
Right.
but that's it.
Gotta say,
Is every
pizza.
contestant a milkman in the show?
Everyone there, Pizza Boy, Drag Queen, they were all men.
No,
Yeah.
How
not-
would
not-
how would
not
Axel
Sweet
be a
Tooth.
milkman? He doesn't even have
Yeah,
a backpack
I don't think Axel
or
wasn't
anything,
there.
like
You just I don't know, put a backpack on him and ship him across the country.
Poor guy, dude. What if it's raining?
Yeah, I know. I mean, he has a cage. It has a little umbrella on it. His cage does.
That's the least of his problems. What if there's bugs on the road, man? It's just hitting him right in the face.
That would be a great gag in the series if he always drives up with just bugs covering his face.
That'd be perfect. I would love that.
Oh my god!
If he swallows a mosquito or something.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect.
Axel, what is your wish? I wish for a windshield.
I wish for windshield wipers that swipe my face clean.
It just turns his eyelashes into windshield wipers. It's grotesque.
It's what I want. Thank you. They need Terry Crews to play Axel.
I can see it, but
I think he'd be perfect.
Maybe it'll be Mike.
It'd be Mike. I don't know. If they bring Mike back, if he didn't actually get killed in the ending, after credit scene, I think they need to bring him and Stu back together and become Hammerhead. That needs to happen.
It would be cool.
Yeah.
I think that would be the best bet for them to do. Even if they were more like the Twisted Metal 1 version of them, where they're just like
Mike and Stu. Or no, who's in the
That is Mike.
David Mike.
David Mike.
Dave and Mike, yeah. Yeah,
Like,
I think
if they want to make him behave like the Twisted Metal 1 versions of him,
mm-hmm.
like that'd still be fine.
We want babes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally like their mindset. They kind of proved that at the end in that little Easter egg ending.
Right.
They're just kind of, they're just two dudes. They're young. They want women and junk food, and just to kind of do their own, just to party, do their own thing.
That fits the Twisted Metal 1 version for sure.
Right. So I can see that.
I wish they quoted it though. I wish they quoted that ending. I really wish they did at the end before Sweet Tooth came in.
Maybe have some type of like reference to Rob Zombie as well.
I'm shocked they didn't play a single song.
Same.
I thought they were going to play
somewhere.
like at least Dragula or something at the very least.
Yeah.
Like during one of the battle scenes.
Like that final battle, that big climax at the end. What song did they play? They played some licensed song.
I don't know.
I don't remember, but it was Rob Zombie.
It was Cake. It was The Distance. The Distance. That was the song. Yeah.
That's right. Which is, not a bad song, but not what I would have picked.
No, I wanted something that pumped me up. That was like, okay, this is a good song, but I'm not feeling like whole shit that's about to go down.
Right.
They definitely should have had something more upbeat in the ending sequence. I don't know who thought that one through. I thought the music choices were decent throughout the whole show, though. That was the
Evanescence was perfect.
Yeah, for sure. Like, that was the only one where I was kind of like, I probably would have gone with something a little more. I don't know. Not doesn't necessarily have to be heavy metal, but just something to get me more pumped for the fight.
Right.
Like
Rob Zombie was right there.
What's the original song that they released? I can't remember what it's
Steal
called.
My Sunshine?
Nope. It was an original track that they released for the show. It sounded like it was straight out of TM2. It was just like a guitar riff and some heavy drums.
I never listened to the soundtrack, so I
didn't actually hear it.
It's actually sick. Like, look it up. It's really good. And I'm like, they should have played that during the final scene. I would have loved that.
Where does that's the song that plays during when we first see Sweet Tooth, right?
I believe
in episode 2. That's the song. Okay.
I think it's like when when Sweet Tooth's chasing them in the desert.
Right, it's like that circus, like metal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it gets like more chaotic as the scene goes on. So and so the music kind of reflects it. Which I listened back to it again. I'm just like, that was a pretty good soundtrack.
Yeah, I thought overall it was good. It was just, I don't know why they chose Cake for the final final battle. It's just
weird. That actually got me thinking. What would be so cool and kind of outlandish, but cool, is since they're out in the West, they got to do a Hangar 18 like battlefield.
Yes,
and then
that would be cool.
they don't have to play Megadeth, but just play like something and do Hangar 18. That'd be such a cool set to do. It's like just put fucking alien spaceships everywhere. I don't care.
Get the shifter out there.
Do something fun. Like, it's like stuff like that I think in this show would benefit so much just from the outlandish. Like, it's already not taking itself seriously. So the more outlandish things they can do to kind of be like, oh, fucking shooting cars and shit around like alien spacecraft in Area 51 and whatnot, and
Yeah.
or Hangar 8 or Hangar 18 or whatever. Like that'd be really cool since
Yeah.
they're out west.
And if they did like an a Hangar 18 out there, that would be a perfect way to bring in Warthog. Like he is the military out there that's guarding this base, and they can
Yes.
see the Globus character in.
Oh, yes.
And then you get
Transition.
some tanks and adding new characters, and
And they could
Even
have like they could have like an area where they drive through Area 51, and you see like in the background, like as a small cameo, like behind glass, you see like Moonbuggy's vehicle or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
that'd be
yes.
cool.
Mhm.
Oh my god, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shit
should
like
hire
that.
you to write for the show, man. You're on it.
I'm here. Email is open.
Well, you got contacts with the actual lead writer.
That is true. Yeah, I could send him my ideas. Be like, you better put this in the show, or I am going to make a video that says don't watch it. So, your choice. Just kidding.
I wonder how they're going to handle the fact that there are different versions of characters. You know, because you can play a lot of gags off it, like to not be serious. Like for
Yeah.
Sweet Tooth, you know, they could have like his Twisted Metal 1 appearance where he's just like this greasy old like weirdo.
Mhm.
You know, just have him kind of showing up, hey, I'm Sweet Tooth, and then you know everyone kind of tells him that he's not because he's this crusty old man.
Right.
Like I would like to see that, like all the worst versions of characters, to like if they show up and then maybe they just get destroyed instantly.
Yeah, I can see that as like a gag, just like a
Yeah.
reference to the other old games.
Yeah,
They're copycat
Yeah.
killers. They
like
love what
that.
Sweet Tooth is doing, so they're copying him and taking on his persona, and he just has to go around hunting them down. Like,
Yeah,
no,
oh, man.
I'm the real Sweet Tooth.
And I
You
guess
could make a gang out of that.
yeah,
Like hardcore fans or like psycho fans.
yeah, they could.
yeah, or
just
even the
fights
gang
them.
idea we were talking about could be just, you know, you have the main person, but all of their minions are like varying versions of that character.
Right.
You know, John
Yeah, the
Doe, his
leaders,
gang could
yeah.
have, you know, the John Doe from Twisted Metal Black.
They're all just bald skinheads. Wait, what?
Jesus. remember now.
Jesus. That would not be good. But like,
Yeah, I don't know. If
Hey.
that's possible.
I'm not sure that's going to work for this.
yeah, I don't think that would work.
Yeah, don't hire me for the show. Hire Nick.
But honestly, Drew bringing out Sweet Tooth, that made me think, and this is a perfect transition, I think, to like the last thing we should talk about for the episode is, what do you guys think is going to happen to Sweet Tooth, like in season 2? Because obviously we know he's not dead, right? Like we didn't see a body. We saw the mask fall off. He got shot in the eye, like his iconic look in Twisted Metal Black and in 2012. But
He attacked Mike and Stu.
and he showed up and attacked Mike and Stu, so that proved he's alive. Do you think he's just gonna be the same as he was, or do you think he's gonna be changed a little bit since he got shot in the head? Like he's gonna be more crazy, or maybe he's gonna be evil now, like straight up mean, like in
I think,
Metal
like,
Black.
Cousin Eddie. He's gonna be like that.
He's
not gonna be part.
Cousin
He's not gonna be part of the tournament, but he's gonna come in and he's just gonna cause chaos.
He just has
He's not
brain damage and he can't talk.
No, not like real Cousin Eddie, but like
Oh,
the
okay.
base of Cousin Eddie. Like he doesn't give a shit about the tournament.
Oh, okay.
Like he's just like he's there to kill.
And not
Yeah.
even aware
And
that
he
there's a
wants
tournament going
revenge.
on. Yeah.
Because I think
What?
Harold died, so it's like he wants revenge.
Did Harold die?
This,
I mean, the bag was like charred.
Oh, I didn't
don't
see
know, I'm
that.
not
I
sure.
forgot about that.
I don't know.
I mean, there's other paper bags. You can probably find a new Harold.
No one
No
one
one
can
else is like
replace
Harold.
Harold.
Yeah, I don't think he would see it that way either.
Yeah.
What was inside of Harold? Did we ever find out what was
Nope.
in it? Because like if it was
No.
an empty paper bag, it would have not been
It's probably a heart.
as capable as it was, like with the gun and the drink and stuff. Like something inside that bag makes it sentient.
Yeah. It's probably
I wonder what
like
it
a
is.
heart in there or something, or just like
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's probably something fucked up. It has to be.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if the bag was charred at the end, then that means his truck was probably destroyed. I don't know. Maybe he gets the Darktooth truck, and that is his new persona that he morphs into now that he's lost Harold, and he is going to go into the tournament to try to literally wish for the bag back, like he did in the
do a play on
original.
Metal 1, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
This is what he did
Yeah.
that game.
Was
Because
he
we
ever?
don't know what happened to Harold in Twisted Metal 1. We just know that at some point they got separated. So yeah, that could be the
Right.
way to go.
Did we ever see Sweet Tooth on the ladder board for the tournament?
No.
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 That's why
Okay.
I'm saying he'd be like Cousin Eddie. Like he's not there to to be a part of the tournament. Like he doesn't care.
Do you think
about
he'd
the
be a mini
tournament.
boss?
I mean, he'd just show up. I think just to cause like
Just to fuck up everything?
just to twist a knife in the episode. Like he'd
Yeah.
come in
Yeah.
unexpectedly.
I could
If
see
he
that.
wins, he'll wish for Harold to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope he gets his wish.
Too.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess I just, even though I loved, honestly, I really did. I loved their portrayal of Sweet Tooth in the show, and I didn't mind him being more goofy than scary. It would be interesting to see a complete shift in his character for season 2 because he got shot in the head. If his silly wackiness kind of went away, and now he's just a serial killer. You know, he's just nuts, and he's actually really intimidating and scary. I think that would be interesting. I don't think they would go that route though, just because obviously if they bring Will Arnett back for the voice, I don't think he'd want to do his quips, you know, his funny jokes. So
Yeah.
I don't think they would go that route. But who knows? You never know.
Yeah, it would be a good transition to have, and it would actually give the character depth for once.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a great idea.
All
Yeah,
right.
hire Nick.
Yeah. Hire me. But I guess jokes aside, I think we went over the main points we wanted to for this episode. If you guys, do we have any final words you'd like to say before we send it off?
I have 2 words.
Just watch the show if you haven't.
Yes, please do.
My 2 words are thus: hire Nick.
Oh my
That's it.
god.
I'll reiterate that.
That's that. I have a job at the moment, but
It's very important to me that I know someone who's working on the show.
I'll let you guys know if I get some interesting emails the next few days. Well, thank you guys so much for watching episode 2 of the Twisted Cast. Be sure to check us out next week, going up live on Monday, and hope to see you there. Thanks so much for listening and for watching. See you
Pizza
later.
Boy's still alive.
Yes.
I think he is. He's coming back as No Face. I'm going to call it right now.
You heard it here, folks.